Hey everybody, welcome back to Media and XL Sigma. Hopefully the sound is a little better for these videos. I have adjusted the settings. The last week or so's videos had really low audio, um, and I always have pretty low audio on my videos just because this is what I'm used to listening to. But I've turned up the volume quite a lot for this one, so hopefully the sound balance is a lot better for you guys and you can hear me more clearly. We're here on the Claw Assassin today, and we got a couple things I'm going to do. It's going to be a farming video, so we're going to start off with going to Teganze, because I want to pick up I'd like to pick up a light essence, a lightning essence, so I can make a light rune, because we have a Ral rune here, and we have a decent jewel here, so we're actually going to craft a rune word. Let me actually pull up this rune word for you guys so that you can see. Give me just a moment. Let's get OBS here. We want to go display capture. There we go. We're going to go down to Assassin Claws here. There is a rune word right here called Judge. As you can see, this has some interesting stuff on it. 20% chance to cast level 60 Forked Lightning on melee attack. That's cool. 18% chance to cast level 14 Thunder Hammer on striking. Forked Lightning is the Lightning Sorceress AoE skill. It shoots out a bunch of lightning. It'll help our clear a ton. Thunder Hammer is I believe in this description, it's referring to Hammer of Zeray, which is a Amazon Storm Tree skill. It's basically Blessed Hammer, but it deals weapon damage and lightning damage. I believe it deals weapon damage and converts a portion of it to lightning. It's very good. Again, it'll help our clear. It adds a bunch of flat lightning damage, stun attack, which is pretty cool. Enemy lightning res pierce. It has ED on it, as well as dex and then some res. So I'm actually going to build this in a blade talons. So it is going to be a physical damage base. That is going to be the big thing here. And we got a couple things here that I'll be using. So first off, we picked this shield up in the last episode, actually. This is the shield I'm going to use. It does give us Thunder Slam on melee attack, which although only does physical damage as far as I know, it deals it's only a 2% chance to cast a level 12 one, and it deals 50% weapon damage, but it's a stun. It's a big AoE stun, which will just help a ton. As well as it adds a ton of flat damage and lifesteal base block chance. It's a decent shield to be using when we swap off of the set onto a physical setup. And then if we hop over here, we have a Royal Circlet here that's MO'd with Dex. So this is probably what we'll use. This is a really decent Royal Circlet. Honestly, we have all PMEs in there. I may swap that over for more resistances. We'll see where my resistances are at afterwards. Because we're also going to use a Dragon Heart here. This is the one I made, I think, for my Paladin or maybe for my Javazon. Yeah, no, I made this one for my Javazon, I think. This one has poison spell damage on it, though. I wonder if the one from my Paladin is around here somewhere, or if I just want to make a new one, because I can make a new one as well. But I'll probably run a Dragonheart here. I'd like to use a Hellfire Plate, I think it's called, but we don't have all the runes for that yet. So this is just all skills, combat speed stuff, and defense, life. A good rolled one can have a lot of life on it. So this is probably what we'll use. I'll make another one if I don't have one to put on. Yeah, so we're going to start off with just doing a little bit of Teganze. Oh yeah, there was also an update. We're on 2.2.7, so some new UI stuff that looks really clean. I believe, yeah, quests also got an update that looks real nice. There's a couple other things that was added. So goblins are now in single player. So you guys have never seen goblins in my videos, but if you've watched other people, or I assume played yourself, most people play on Sin Ladder online. So you get different types of goblins. Those have been ladder only for the most part, but they were just added to single player with this last patch. There's a couple other small things as well. Let me double check what those were. Let's see. So relics are no longer sellable. There was some bugs that were fixed. Goblins in single player from 2.2.6. And there's some better UI stuff and some patches and things. So nothing too crazy, but the big one is the goblins. Oh. Not Flare Jungle. What am I doing? Trojan Jungles. It's been a while since I played. So let's see how this goes. We can go ahead and turn our drop filter on. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit of Teganze farming in hopes that we can get a lightning essence. If we get a lightning essence, we will make the new runeword judge. We'll also need to get a blade talons to drop, which I have added to my drop filter so that if they drop, I will see them. We just need any sacred blade talons, and then I can do a renewal on them, so. We'll go kill the boss first, since he has a much higher chance of dropping an essence or a runestone. I also don't have any of the relics on this character right now, since they're on the boson. But they were just adding a little bit of life per kill, basically, and the magic absorb. So there's a venomous essence. Bloodstone too. Okay. We are, of course, also just looking for levels. We are currently 125. And I think at 125 we should be able to go to phys. I don't think we need 130 for phys. I believe 125 should be good. And I'm pretty confident. Yeah, yeah, we have a dragon's tooth. Of course we can, or whatever it's called, the Darkstar Dragon thing. So we can go do some phys after this, probably to fill out the rest of the video. But we'll be doing a little bit of crafting, so we'll have to get to that as well. With the Royal Circlet, we'll have a little more all-res to play around with, so we may be able to add some slightly higher dex. We're going to start dealing more physical damage as well, which will be cool. More physical damage, like going more for a physical base, means that our lightning stuff, like our elemental stuff, is going to be a little weaker. But we're going to be able to leech, and we get a ton of life leech from the shield that I'm going to be using. So that should be pretty nice. It'll help with our survivability, especially against bosses, since that is one of the big places where we were lacking, was survivability against bosses. A lot of our survivability comes from clear speed as an elemental build. We have to kill things in order to get our life back from Bloodbath. So with a life leech setup, although the base damage on claws is very, very slow, so that 19% life steal sounds like it's a lot, but it's really not as much as you would think. And I had a couple comments on the last Clawson video, some tips on killing a Stroga. I'm not really into the whole min-maxing, and I'm especially not very big into respecking my builds. Earth Essence, of course. So I think I've just decided I'm not going to do Astroga on this character, so I will just grab an Astroga charm on a different character. I did grab an Eternal Bone Pile. I did some runs with my Paladin. Now that I've learned the map, it's really not so bad on the Paladin with his survivability. So that kind of stuff, I'll give it a try on certain characters, but if it's not fun for me, I'm just not going to do it. And I mean, that's the whole point of the game, right? Is for it to be fun. So Astroga's fine to do on my Javazon. It's a little slow, but she can do it. And I showed her off doing it in her series as well. Since she has Impale for a good single target, and it's poison, although he's resistant to all elemental, or he absorbs all elemental, the numbers on the poison is just good enough. Now, Blade Talons are going to be a little annoying to drop, since they are a sacred item and they are a class-specific base. Their chances of showing up are a lot lower. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's on the drop notifier, so if a pair does drop anywhere, we will get the notification for that, so I won't miss them. We got a decent jewel to put in there. It's not amazing or anything, but it's okay. And yeah, once we get some Blade Talons, we'll do some renewal. Hopefully we can get at least a decent roll on them. I'd like to get some good attack rating and ED, but we'll see. This is not meant to be a very amazing bossing character or anything. It is very much so a farming character, and the Judge Claws having Thunderhammer and Forked Lightning is just going to add tons of lightning procs on the screen that are going to look sick. So along with Charged Strike, shooting out the charged bolts, it's just going to look really cool. It's going to fill the screen with lightning, and I just think that'll be a pretty sick build. The shield will also give us Thunder Slam procs, which are going to be a big circle AoE that shoots out. I believe it uses the same sprite as like Vanilla D2's Werebear Maul. Or not Maul, the other one. Ground Slam? I don't play Vanilla D2 very often anymore. But the big slam that the bear can do, that does the big like shockwave AoE. Is it called just shockwave? Is that it? Does the big AoE in front of it? Shockwave, I think. It uses that sprite, but just in a big circle around you. Or at least it did. Maybe it's changed since older versions of Median. I believe that is or was a barbarian skill. Barbarian elemental skill. What happened was there's a lot of items that have older skills on them, and they kept those skills on them, but they're no longer like from class skill trees. So it may not be a skill that you can actually get as barbarian anymore, and it only exists on the item. Would like to see a lightning essence here, game. Grab this emerald as well, actually. Now, we are going to have to respec for this as well, because Anathema is no longer going to be needed for our build. Because of that, it's no longer be needed because we won't have innate elemental damage. So we'll be able to ignore innate elemental damage and focus more on enhanced weapon damage stuff. So that means I will want to grab a good Cabraxis trophy. I don't have a perfect Cabraxis charm on this character. I think it's one off on poison. But it's a near perfect one. So I might swap this one with the trophy I have on my Javazon, which is a perfect one that's been trophied. And I have a spare Cabrax's trophy, I just don't have a perfect charm. And I would feel real bad if I trophied on a charm that wasn't perfect. So... I mean, I have a spare trophy and an extra trophy fragment. Because I farmed that much Cabraxis. So yeah, we'll have to look over the build and see what I actually want to put points into. So I'll do a little bit of respeccing. They are still going to be decks, but I won't have to worry so much on, like, stacking decks as high as possible for as much damage, because it's just the flat damage on the weapon is so little, and the rune word we're going with doesn't even... it has enhanced damage, but doesn't have any flat damage to increase the base. So, like, enhanced weapon damage stuff is just not going to give us that much damage, so it's not that big of a deal. It's more the flats that are going to help our damage out a lot. Shadow Refuge stacking probably won't be as important either. Like the levels in Shadow Refuge, because we're using that for Pierce right now. We're wearing gloves that give us +1 Pierce, +1% Pierce for every level in Shadow Refuge, base level. And I'm using Way of Griffin and Way of the Phoenix, but they won't be... I mean, they'll be big sources of bonus damage, but they won't be, like, the main source. So it'll be less important to put points in there. Fiery Essence. If we can't get a Lightning Essence on this clear, then I will just move on, but I would like to get a Lightning Essence if I can. It may turn out that being on the set might just be better, but I really want to try out this rune word because I think having the spell procs, especially when you have a 5-frame attack, is just like, you should go for the procs because like it'll look cool. And having a 5-frame attack means you're going to stack those procs up really quick. I think that's why Charge Strike is such a good attack on this character, because you're attacking so fast. I believe the fastest you can attack in the game. I don't think anyone has faster than a 5-frame attack in MXL. Ironically enough, you can actually get lower than that in D2R. Using some of the stuff they changed how attack speed stacking works with some of the characters, so you can manage to get some ridiculously high attack speeds now when doing like some werewolf and werebear shenanigans. And they balanced it a little bit, but ironically, you can get faster attack speed in D2R than you can in MXL, which I think is funny. People always talk about how ridiculously fast MXL is. We'll grab a perfect rainbow. Actually, I may end up still using Anathema, because I believe it gives Pierce too, doesn't it? No, it lowers enhanced weapon damage and gives... Yeah, it does give you Pierce, but 150 lower enhanced weapon damage is not good, so... Yeah, I won't be running Anathema with them. I could make the rune word in an innate elemental damage base, but then the shield doesn't really make as much sense. And I kind of want to have leech. The innate elemental damage is interesting, but I really miss having leech. Obviously, life on attack is also fantastic. Still no blade talons yet either. I can probably just hop into Duncraig, and I'll get those pretty quick. So perhaps after we get a lightning essence, I'll hop over to Duncraig and see if we can't get blade talons. Then we'll set up the new build and do a little test run on phys to see how it goes. Because I'll have extra points, I may put some extra levels into Queen of Blades. I always like to make sure, you never know. Dragon Honor? Yeah, it's Dragon, not Honor. I don't think any other sets have Greaves anyways. I think it has to be... Actually, Honor has chain boots, doesn't it? Now I think about it. I think it had to be Dragon. Perhaps seeing, perhaps just running the boss might give us the best chances to get a lightning essence, but... Okay, 24 minutes. So I'm gonna give the video a little pause here. I'm gonna farm up a lightning essence, and I'll be back with you guys when I'm ready to go to Duncraig and get some blade talons. Okay? Okay. Just want to quickly let you guys in on my farming here, because we just got a treasure goblin to appear, so I thought I'd show that off. There he is. Let's see what he gives us. Okay, he gave us a unique jewel. Yeah, okay. Let's see. What do we get? Unique jewel he gave us was, where is it? He gave us a demon stone, so that's fine, I guess. Um, yeah, that's a treasure goblin. I just thought I'd show you guys that quick while I'm just while I'm farming up that lightning essence. Okay, finally, that took some time, but we did finally get a lightning essence. I'll go ahead and show you the stash. Uh, Took a little while. Probably took. It wasn't that long. Probably like half hour or so. Um, but yeah, some farming, got a whole lot of these stacked up, and we can now make a light rune, which means we have a decent jewel to throw in the weapon, as well as light row. I did do some other rune jewels here. I wonder if no, I'd rather have the damage on. I think I'd rather have the damage on the armor. But anyways, I did find these boots as well, which are the Trapsin boots. Um, Interesting boots. They're cool. I'll go ahead and throw those in the stash. I do have 3 pieces of the Trapsin set, not the full set, but I do have a Ghost Trance here as well. I think I talked about this. I forget what episode I talked about this in, but we have a fully upgraded Umbaru treasure here. It's not very good, and we'll see. I'm going to throw this Ghost Trance on it. It's one that I farmed up with my Paladin. I don't see this character killing Giowa anytime soon, so I'm just going to toss it on here. Decent dex roll. That's what I care about, so that's fine. Okay, I did also find this, which was interesting. Dyer's Eye. The time strike on striking. It's only 5%, but that's still really cool. Lifesteal, flat damage, LE res, phys res, to all skills. Like, this is a really cool amulet. It is obviously much better than Atlas Oracle, but I don't have Cannot Be Frozen on a different piece of gear. So until then, I'm going to be wearing Atlas Oracle. But once I can get some Cannot Be Frozen on something else, then I will probably do that. We're going to go through Duncraig a little bit here in hopes that we can find some Blade Talons. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. We should see some Blade Talons. Hopefully in just one run. Hopefully one run is good enough. But we'll see what happens. Again, they are on my drop notifier, so I don't have to be looking at every single item that lands on the ground. I can just notice it when it pops up on the drop notifier. Sacred Bone Shield. Try LE. +3 to Storm Crows. And it's interesting. Storm Crows is a throwing weapon skill. That's an interesting shield. Sacred Spirit Mask as well. That is, I believe that is a werewolf helmet. Let's see. Bonus to Widowmaker. Oh no, apparently not. That is a very interesting bow druid helmet. Widowmaker and frag shot for bow druid. So if you want to play crossbow necro on a druid instead, that's a weird one, but that's a cool one. I like that. That's interesting. We can actually go ahead and take a look at Stormcrow's here. It is this. Throw a volley of randomly homing knives. So it would give us this skill. Plus 1 knife per 2 base levels. So you wouldn't be able to get a lot of knives out of it. But that's an interesting one. I say you wouldn't be able to get a lot of knives out of it because you wouldn't use it on an assassin, probably. That's why I died. I accidentally hit Y and hopped off of my set. So because we are going to be swapping over to a physical build, we will be able to take Talon Scrap. Hold on. In the Claw Shadow Dancer, that's what it's called. So there's a Claw passive for physical and physical damage and crit, among other things. Increased bloodbath duration. I believe maxed it gives an extra 5 seconds to bloodbath duration, which will be nice. Now we are going to lose our aura, which is slightly unfortunate. I do like the look of the set aura around the character. Don't have any intention of actually killing Asur here, but I guess we can. Still no Blade Talons. The reason I want Blade Talons specifically instead of just any random Sacred base is because Blade Talons have the highest of the flat physical damage, and it is in the tier of claws that require slightly more attack speed to hit their 5 frames. I believe they hit their 5 frames at 37 or something instead of 20 something. 27, I think it is. I think it's like 10 attack speed higher to hit the same breakpoint, but it's still negligible attack speed. We'll have more than enough literally just from the endless loop giving us our primary skill, so I'm not too worried about it. The leech as well is going to be so nice. For moments like that where we start to get stun locked, we'll still be able to heal a little bit over time, since there is a cap to how fast Life Leech can heal your HP, I believe. Perfect Turquoise I will grab, actually, since I don't have a whole lot of those. You can see a lot more items show up in Duncraig as well, because the filter is set up to hide tiered items, but not sacred items. because we're getting so many sacred items, this being Duncraig after all, there's just a lot more stuff on the ground compared to other areas. I do have the runes and some jewels set up to make new Dragon Heart. It can roll from 550 to 650, I believe. And the one I have is 555, and it's MO'd with poison damage from when I use it on my Javazon. So, not ideal. So I'll roll another one. And the other ones don't have any jewels in them either. So I just crafted up some all-stat jewels. Those are the ones that I have there. Just have like some flat and percent all stats and some resistances. Nothing crazy. For the shield, I'll probably put the Demon Blood jewels in there as well for the fire damage. And the 4% max life. Still no blade talons either. It's blowing me away. Attack, come on. There we go. Get all my buffs active. I believe this is up towards a sewer. Oh no, it's a little further down. So after I do one full clear, I'll do the same thing I did just a moment ago, and I'll farm up the Blade Talons off screen. I'll just pause the video quick, and we'll come back when I get them to drop, and well, it might be after I get a couple of them to drop, because after I re-roll them, if I get really bad renewals, then I'll probably go for a different pair. We'll skip a sewer for now. Hold on, Bull Shield, where was that? Interesting. Just the caves now, then that's everything. So many Ring of the Fives dropping, it's kind of insane. Considering it took us a full run before we even saw one. That's how it goes, of course. When you don't need a Ring of the Five, they're all over the place. but now that we're already wearing an Acer's Bane, at least I think we are, yeah. I don't believe we get cannot be frozen from a charm until, like, Void. So, don't know when I will swap off of Athila's Oracle, because I really like having cannot be frozen. I hate being slowed. I might give it a try with the other necklace, and then just only use Athila's Oracle when I'm farming an area that has an area or a boss that has a really annoying slow on it. Okay. Well, that was one full run of Duncraig. We got a bunch of random stuff, but nothing super useful. These were kind of cool. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video here. I'll come back when I have some decent blade talons to make the rune word in. Okay, so we got one to drop with some decent stats. We can go ahead and take a look at this. We got 47 ED, 59 bonus attack rating. That's pretty decent. So we're going to go ahead and craft our rune word. So we'll start by putting in our jewel. It's percent dex, 3 all attributes, cold res attack rating. The flat attack rating will help a lot. So we'll put that in. And then it is light rune, Ral rune. So we have Judge. We have 145 to 154 one-hand damage, with 20% chance to cast 64 to lightning on melee attack, so we don't actually have to hit, it's just on, like, swinging. Then 18% chance to do Thunderhammer on striking, so that does have to hit. 216 enhanced damage, so not a fantastic roll, I don't think, but, you know. Got the attack rating, lightning damage, 13 pierce. Then we got our dex, percent dex on it. There was already percent dex, so it rolled 22, I believe. Percent dexterity, because there was 3 from the jewel. 2 from the jewel, so... yeah, okay. Well, these are the claws that we are going to use. However, we're not done yet. So next we're going to go ahead and make this. Put these jewels in. These are just like some min damage, percent strength, all attribute, poison, res, min damage, all attribute, more all attribute, life, cold res. So just like some pretty basic stuff. Then we do Ohm, Thul, Foul for Dragonheart, and we rolled, hey, 669 life. That's pretty close to max. We have 38 bonus life here, so we got, what, 631, right? Yeah, 631 roll, so pretty close to max. That's actually pretty good. Now, I did also grab these Windrunner boots. I made these in the Runeword guide video. These are meant to be for the Boazon, but they're also just, like, really good for this character as well. The attack speed less so, but the move speed, attack rating, life steal, damage, like, it's all good stuff. So we'll probably grab these as well. And we'll see what the difference in damage is when wearing both of these. The problem with doing so many rune words is that we get less slots to put in resistance jewels, so next up we'll grab our shield. Then we will grab helmets. I wanted to grab a royal circlet. That's a decent one. And it's just like overall stats. It's nothing special. This can be swapped out at any point for something better, something crafted even. Um, the belt and the gloves will stay. The boots might even stay. They're less important, honestly. Uh, the Windrunner boots are probably almost certainly going to be better. So we're still using a really strange Ring of Truth as well. We could swap over to a Ripstar now, actually. Let's see if I can find a good Ripstar. There are Earth Rousers as well. Some Earth Rousers might not be bad. That one has spell damage on it. I don't care about that. We'll grab an Earth Rouser. Sigil of Turkdolera, but no. No Ripstars. Let's grab a Ripstar off of you. This is another character you guys haven't seen. This was just one that I played on my own time. You have a Ripstar with MF on it. 2 Ripstars with MF on it. Let's go ahead and put one of these in here. Let's see. Okay, so now we are going to respec. I'll just eat a Belladonna. I have so many of them. Okay. Don't care about that. Or that. Or that anymore. Okay, what we care about... we can throw the Royal Circlet on right away. I think. Yeah. Only requires a little bit of dex. The Endless Loop we're going to be putting on. So let's go ahead and do stats first. Strength, we need like 500 strength. That gives a little bit. This gives some flat strength. Nothing's giving us a ton of strength, so put that on. Put that on. That on. Need a little more strength for this. Let's just do that. Okay. Put these on. Same gloves still. And the rest will go into dex for damage. Okay. Now we go over to skills. 1 point, 1 point, 1 point here. 1 point here. We'll go 10 points in here for now, but I'll come back. 1 point here, and we're going to max out Shadow Dancer. You can see this gives us a ton of claw physical damage. It's giving us 39% chance to crit. 369. Look out, yeah, that gave us crap tons of bonus damage, as well as an additional 5 seconds on our bloodbath duration. Fantastic. We don't need Anathema, it just kills this build right now. We're going to max out Way the Phoenix for extra damage as well, since we have the points, and there's nothing else to really spend the points on. We're going to take Endurance and Melee Devotion. I might take Specialization. We'll take Prismatic Cloak, just for, like, the tankiness. I hate Beacon. Enemy Magic Res. Enemy takes additional damage. Probably Doom is the way to go here, because phase is less important. Doom's probably better. I don't know. Probably just like 1 point in Doom. I guess. We're not really doing magic damage. I don't think either of them are very good. Now we could put 1 point into Crucify. Might actually be pretty good here to convert damage to magic and give us some better AoE and stuff. Could be some interesting stuff there. Need to get some more potions. Let's take a look at our damage now. With Charge Strike, we're doing 3,500 to 5,251. Yeah, so these are better damage by a significant amount. We don't have the jewels in here yet, so let's take the jewels out of this. It's fire damage, but it's still better damage. Disjunction. These are all 20 to 40, which is a guaranteed roll, and these did roll the max life on them. So let's go ahead and put these in here. So that puts up our damage slightly more. These can both be upgraded, like, significantly. These hotkeys can be changed around now. So this can be put on A, this can be put on S. These are all the same, these are all good. That's still, yeah. So this way, now our curse is on S, and we only have to do Queen of Blades. We don't have to do Anathema anymore, since our other buff is a passive. Okay, now... don't need that. So let's put on a Ripstar. Let's take a look at our stats with this. When we swap these, it does lower our damage pretty significantly because this has flat phys on it. And what about our health? Yeah, lowers our health too. So we'll just wear Asur's Bane for now. We'll just toss that there for now. So, we can put this set away now. We have had our fun with it. This amulet is a big one that we're going to have to test. Let's, first off, it's only poison res that we need to worry about right now. So I can get some poison res from something. So let's see what happens when we swap this. Like, what does our damage change to? 3.6 to 6.2. Yeah, it's like an extra 100 damage. The extra proc and the reses are also good. So I'll hold on to Athla's Oracle here, and then if we come to a point where I really feel like we need the extra cannot be frozen, then I will probably worry about it a little more. In the meantime, let's just go hop over to, like, Teganze and see what happens. Oh, yes. Already love that. Now, stuff does have to proc. If it doesn't proc, then, you know, like, we just swung a whole bunch there, and it's a 20% chance, so that's a little strange, but... let's see. How do we do in Teganze compared to how we were doing? Yeah? Fairly similar. I think this setup will be more survivable. And there's a few ways... Ooh, I'm missing out on the Mana Leech right now, though. That's the big thing. We can easily MO our weapon with Mana Leech, though. For 127, so we can do a full thing of mana on attack. Mana. Okay. Probably don't need to do all of them, but I'll do the full 100 mana on attacking for now. Seems pretty fun so far. I like the procs. I'm a sucker for proc-based stuff. And there's a lot of room for upgrades with the current setup. We have a little more magic resist in this setup as well. Or not magic resist, rather. We have a little more magic find in this setup. There are some charms that we have to get that we neglected. Or not ones that we have to get, but we have to get better rolls on ones that we neglected. For physical setups, since we were ignoring them. Also, since I'm not wearing that Ring of Reg, I no longer have Rest in Peace, so we do have our reanimates going again. This seems like slightly less clear speed, but I think it has potential. I think the leech is going to be a big part of it. The fact that we are going to have life leech now because of physical damage. See, a large part of our damage is still elemental. So on absorb enemies, we're dealing a lot less elemental, so we're not overcoming their absorb quite the same. Because the numbers aren't quite as high. The absorb is making a much bigger impact on our damage. I also don't have the same pierced because I haven't put the points. I still have 42 points to spend for the record. I think I'm probably going to go specialization because going specialization with this current setup will allow us to hop over to Claw, put more points into Shadow Dancer for better crit and more Claw physical damage. We didn't put any points into Way of the Griffin. That's why our damage is so low. Yeah, that's significantly more damage, huh? Hold on. Ah, that was the problem. I had 0 points in Way of the Griffin. Now it's like the same clear speed as before. I think I want to go specialization to put more points into the passive. I think that's still what I want to do. I also messed up and didn't put indestructible on the claws, so I'm going to eat through their durability really fast, unfortunately. So I may have to make new claws for that reason alone, since I wasn't thinking of that, but... So, let's see, what, we still need to go do this for extra life. Could get 1 more on that, 2 more on that. That's fine. Probably get a better Fool's Gold. Can go get a better Crystalline Flame Medallion. I can go upgrade it. I should be able to upgrade it now. There's our Wormhole. I think I grabbed the Wormhole over from my Javazon, just so I didn't have to farm up cycles. This only has 25 EWD on it, which could be better. Yeah, things seem okay for now anyways. Yeah. So this is the build I'm going to use going forward. I think it's an interesting one anyways, at the very least. Yeah, I don't know what else I'm going to spend points in. Probably more into Perfect Being. Because I can get another 15 chance to avoid. So we'll do that for now. We're up to 65 chance to avoid. And then I could keep putting points in here to get extra Lightning Pierce, I guess, for now, from our gloves. That's where we'll spend our points for now. Okay, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, consider subscribing. I'll catch you on the next one. And leave some comments below about what you thought about this build change, and maybe what pieces I can look for going forward. All right.